Morning, my dear children. Today we are going to see about peasant revolts, the continuation of the lesson Rural Life and Society. Rural Life and Society. Dear children, now we want to recall the previous class. In the beginning of the 15th century, Europeans came to India for the trade purpose and they settled here. Later, they wanted to show the political power in India. In the pre-colonial period, Indian economy was predominantly an agrarian economy. Agrarian means agriculture. But the British government did not adopt pro-Indian policy, land revenue system. Three major land revenue and tenurial system, namely permanent settlement, Rayatwari system, Mahalwari system. The permanent settlement 1792. The Rayatwari system was introduced in 1820 and then the Mahalwari system was introduced in 1822. Now, briefly, we want to see the three land revenue system.
Permanent settlement. Permanent settlement was introduced by the Governor General of British India, Lord Cornwallis, in 1793 for 10-year land revenue settlement. The Jamindars were recognized as the owners of the land as well as they acted as the agent of the government for the collection of revenue from the cultivators. The peasants had to pay the revenue even if the crops failed. The rights of the cultivators were ignored and they were left at the mercy of the Jamindars. They were almost treated as serfs. S-E-R-F-S. Serfs means kottadimai. This permanent settlement as a permanent solution to the land revenue collection, it proved to be an advantage for the English East India Company. Next, Rayatwari system. Rayatwari system was introduced by Thomas Munro and Captain Reid in 1820. Rayat means cultivator or farmer. In this system, the rights of ownership was handed over to peasants and land revenue was collected directly from them. The rate of revenue was fixed as 1/2. Later, Thomas Munro reduced 1/3 of the produce. Under this system, the government exploited the farmers instead of Jamindars. In fact, the government later claimed that the land revenue was rent and not a tax. Next, followed by Mahalwari system. Mahalwari system, a brainchild of Holt Mackenzie, was modified version of the Jamindari settlement introduced in 1822. Lord William Benedict was to suggest radical changes in this system by the guidance of Robert Martin Byrd in 1833. Here, Mahal means village. The tax of collecting revenue and paying it to the East India Company was given to headman or laborer of each Mahal. Here, laborer means village officer. The burden of all this heavy taxation finally fell on the cultivators. The laborer enjoyed privileges which was misused for their self-interest. Under this system, the condition of the peasant became miserable. These revenue policies proved disaster to the peasants, advantages to the British government. The peasants were overburdened with taxation. The zamindars, moneylenders, and lawyers exploited the poor peasants. Agriculture continued to be stagnant as neither the British nor the landlords took steps to improve it. Cottage industries disappeared. Why means on account of the import of British goods, so the peasants had nothing to supplement their income. Peasants were forced to grow commercial or cash crop like indigo, jute, sugarcane, tea, coffee, rubber, etc. Not given importance for the food crops like paddy, wheat, etc. The life of the peasants was extremely miserable, so the various peasant movement and uprising during the 19th and 20th centuries were in the nature of a protest against of the existing condition under which their exploitation knew to no limits. Now we are going to see the peasant revolts. The Santhal Rebellion 1855 to 1856. The first revolt which can be regarded as peasant revolt was the Santhal Rebellion in 1855 to 1856. The Santhal were basically tribals. They originally inhabited in Rajmahal in Bihar. The landlords and moneylenders were took advantages of their ignorance and began to grabbing their land. In 1855, two Santhal rebel leaders were Sidhu and Kangu, two brothers. Under their leadership, 10,000 Santhals were declared a rebellion against British colonists. That period, the houses of the European planters, British officers, railway engineers, zamindars, and money lenders were attacked. The rebellion continued till February 1856, when the rebel leaders Sidhu and Kangu were arrested and the movement was put down with a heavy hand. The government declared the Pargana inhabited by them as Santal Parganas so that their lands and identity could be safeguarded from external encroachment. Next, we are going to see the Indigo Revolt, 1859 to 1860. Indigo was the first crop to be grown on British plantation as the British required a regular supply of indigo for its textile industries. Peasants had to sell it for cheaper rates to the British. The continued growth of the indigo on the best land decreased the fertility and productivity of the land, often making it barren for future further cultivation. The oppression, torture, and exploitation of the peasants for indigo cultivation resulted in the peasant revolt in Bengal in 1859 in Nadia district. This revolt was led by Digambar Biswas and Bishnu Chandra Biswas. Factories were burned down and the revolt spread. To take control of the situation, the government set up an Indigo Commission in 1860. At last, the revolt was suppressed by the British. Next, Patna Revolt. Patna Revolt, 1873 to 1876. The Jamindars routinely collected money from the patient by the illegal means of force. They were often evicted from the land on the pretext of non-payment of rent. The revolt was led by Kesab Chandra Roy. Then they followed by the struggle gradually spread throughout Patna. The main form of the struggle was that of legal residency. In the course of the movement, the riots developed a strong awareness of the law and their legal rights and ability to combine and form association for peaceful arrangement. Next, we are going to say about the Deccan riots. Deccan riots 1875. In 1875, the peasants revolted in the district of Pune. That event has been called the Deccan riots. The revolt uprising spread over nearly 33 villages. It was suppressed only when the army was called to control over it. However, it resulted in passing of the Deccan Agriculturist Relief Act, with some of the most serious grievances of the peasant. Then Punjab peasant movement took over in 1890 to 1900. Followed by, we are going to see about Sambran Satyagraha. Sambran Satyagraha 1917 to 1918. The European planters at Chambran in Bihar for indigo plantation forced the Indian peasant to cultivate indigo on 3 by 20 of their land holding and sent the same to the British planters at prices fixed by them. This was called Tinkatiya system. Tinkatiya system. Then it come to know to Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi took up their cause. The grievances of the peasants were ensured and ultimately the Sambran Agrarian Act was passed in May 1918. Next, Kheda Satyagraha. In the Kheda district of Gujarat, due to constant famines, agriculture failed in 1918, but the officers insisted on collection of full land revenue. The local peasants therefore started no tax movement in Kheda district in 1918 with the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. That time Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel emerged as an important leader of the Indian freedom struggle during this period. Followed by, we are going to see about Mapla rebellion. Who is Mapla means Muslim, those are living in Malabar in Kerala. The Muslim Mapla peasants of Malabar was suppressed and exploited by the Hindu Jamindars and British government. This was the main cause of this revolt. In 1921, the Mapla tenants rebelled against the oppressive Jamindars. So the Mapal's peasants attacked the police station, public office, communication, and house of landlords and money lenders. According to an official estimate, as a result of government intervention, 2,337 Mapla rebels were killed, 1,650 wounded, and more than 45,000 captured as a prisoner. So this Mapla rebellion failed. Next, followed by, we are going to see the Bardoli Satyagraha. Bardoli Satyagraha 1929 to 1930. In 1928, the peasants of Bardoli near Gujarat started their agitation under the leadership of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. In protest against the government's proposal to increase land revenue by 30 percentage. In this Partoli Satyagraha, many women also participated in this camp. In 1930, the peasants of Partoli rose to a man refused to pay taxes. When the main important reason for this peasant revolts were land revenue system. Because of this, the revenue policy proved disaster to the peasants. The life of the peasants were extremely miserable, so the peasant revolts took place during in the beginning 1855, 19th century to 20th century. Thank you.